go. Hello, everybody. It has been a while. My name is Matthew Tyler DeLeo, better known as Sonic MTD, and today we are playing Furi, a game which I have never played, so this is going to be new. Scott, my producer, recommended it to me. I have been, for the past little while, working on a very special video which will be coming out on Wednesday, and because of the fact that that video is now officially done, I'm going to relax and play something new off the beaten path, which once again I was recommended, and I will see how this game goes. Also, I'm going to very briefly, if you see what's going on, it's because, hey, Troz, I am still alive. So we are going to go through this. How have you been, Troz? It has been a while. So balanced, efficient, ideal for a first dive. Toggling between speed and power for increased efficiency. Between two stances. Okay. Let's just go classic. Promenade, anyone who'd be able to enjoy the universe and the story, but the game will be much shorter and very easy. Does not unlock Furier. Okay. This game is balanced to be challenging and demanding. No, I haven't moved to another platform. What had happened with me was, for 3 months in July, August, and September, I was working on a television show. I was working for an Amazon show which was hosted by Mr. Beast, and I was helping work on the construction for that show. My days began at, 8 o'clock in the morning. They ended at 7 p.m., and because of the insane scheduling that was involved, I couldn't live stream, I couldn't do anything. I just woke up, went to work, came back. That production ended in September. When that finally rolled around, I came back and I started working on a YouTube video that I've been working on for 2 years. Finished that video. It is queued up. It will be live on Wednesday. And since I don't have any current project to work on, I thought I would finally get into live streaming. So, it is good to be back. And at no point have I walked away from live streaming. It's just my schedule was so chaotic, it made no sense for me to go and to pick up the controller, just because I was living by the seat of my pants.
You were a weapon, a bringer of death, and now you're nothing. I will keep on killing you. Again and again. I am your future. An eternity of slow, painful deaths.
Also,
I hear thunder. Bitter batter.
Also,
time to wake up.
If you want me to turn up the volume of the game, let me know.
I'm staying right here with you.
Shake your head. Nod your head. It's time to go. See what they did to you? Pull yourself together. Get out of prison. Kill the jailer. Fight for your freedom.
Cool. So give me a second. I will pause as soon as this cutscene is done, and I will once again restate what's been going on with me.
Kill him, and you'll be free.
Pause very briefly. All right. So, I created a new episode of Always Right Reviews, which will be live on Wednesday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And when that video finally went out, like I finally mixed, mastered, edited it, put it all out yesterday, I'm like, okay, I can finally live stream again, because the insanity of my work schedule, working for the Mr. Beast TV show, which finished in September. And then after that, going from that to, okay, now I want to focus on all my energy, time, and effort into the things I couldn't do, such as music, such as doing my YouTube thing. In the background, I had to rehire people that are part of my band, because I had the entire staff except for me decide to resign. And so I rehired a guitarist, a drummer, a bassist, and been teaching them the songs that are in my band, and I'm trying to get them up to snuff. And then while that's going on, I was working behind the scenes as well on future episodes for Always Right Reviews. So currently, there is the episode that is coming out this Wednesday, which took me 2 years to make, primarily because, once again, I had to work a full-time job to pay my rent. And then after that, there is another episode, which we've already written the script. Harriet came in, recorded her lines, and I have to go in and do my lines. And now that I've basically taken care of all of that insanity, I'm like, cool, the video is up, it's queued, it's ready for Wednesday, let's live stream, because now I finally have time to do live streaming. Because, like, when you have to work a full-time job and there are other things that you want to do, like for me, my YouTube thing, so the Amazon show did pay me very well. Once again, I was working on a TV show. I wasn't working in their warehouses. So on the TV show, I was earning about $32 an hour, roughly. $32 Canadian.
You've taken from that cell, I'll make you regret. You listen to me, and you listen good. You'll never escape.
Yeah, but the problem is that, once again, it's contract work. So when the work was over, there goes my paycheck. So I was lucky enough to be paid from...
I swear I'll put you right back in your cell. There's an easy
Give me a
way.
second. I was paid from July to September. And me, I was just working on building the sets.
Excellent choice.
So the stuff the contestants were going to be using. Okay, so this is a bullet hell game. Were you more of a manual builder, or do you have experience with sets? So I'm going to say it right now. My experience working in film and television is primarily either like helping film or doing editing, and as well as a writer, or sometimes they might need someone to fill in and give context. For me, I am not a construction person by nature. But for this particular production, I work labor, which means I have to work in the construction, the building of sets for the TV show. This is once again something that I have no skill in construction whatsoever. So they needed extra bodies. I needed a paycheck, so I went and did that. I was helping physically build these contraptions that were used in the show. Little things like there are parts where people are dropped, and we have to line the walls with foam, so that way if they fall, they don't end up smashing their head into parts that could damage them, as well as removing any screws, making sure that the area is clean, things like that.
I was hoping you'd try to get up so I can hurt you real bad.
Yeah. Mr. Beast saw. Will my name be in the credits? I have no goddamn clue. Absolutely no clue. Maybe? But the chances of that happening probably going to be slim to nil, because, like, I worked on the show. Yes, I did. But I don't 100% know if I'm that high up in the totem pole. So I'm there for the Canadian productions, like the stuff that was filmed in Canada. Maybe my name will be on those episodes, but I honestly don't expect my name to be there. Usually, if your name is on the credits, it means that you're high enough that you have pull to be someone who is worth remembering. Whereas I, quite honestly, was considered a day laborer, and I was a day laborer who had the honor and the privilege of being able to work multiple months. Well, I mean, it'll have my full name. Did I ever get a memo or anything during Mr. Beast's drama? Define memo. Like an update in regards to what's going on and stuff like that? Like, I need you to sort of be specific in regards. Now, there are certain things that I can and cannot tell you. Like, did they ever comment about it to you guys? So, did they ever comment? I mean, there was talk amongst the crew in regards to what was going on with Mr. Beast, but, like, we did not, first of all, I did not meet Jimmy at all during the entirety of the filming. Absolutely not. I was there with the construction crews that were there in Canada, and I was there with the some of the crews that were sent all the way from Los Angeles. And people that are working behind the scenes, so there's pre-production, which is us. There are people that are there while it is filming, which is production, and then there is the people that edit everything afterwards, usually do visual effects and editing. Those are post-production people. But, like, yeah. I was aware of what was going on with Jimmy. Like, every single day, Monday through Thursday, I tune in to Philip DeFranco. And, you know, hearing those news stories, and I'm like, I don't know if Amazon's going to step in and cancel this at any given moment, but so long as it pays my bills, I am not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. For me, the thing that matters the most is making sure that I can pay my rent for the next month. Because, like, before this, I was living paycheck to paycheck. They made it so that way I have a couple months gap in between where I don't have to worry about my next paycheck. They made it so that way I'm like, okay, I think I can survive. I think I can manage at least for a couple months.
This has been fun, but it's time to get serious.
So he is a guy called Jimmy. I think his name's Jimmy Donaldson or something like that. He's supposed to be like the most popular YouTuber, or he basically is one of those YouTubers who managed to transfer into having his own TV show. Like, he managed to break through the gap. And it started off with him doing like, oh, I'm going to be in this village where I'm going to be making wells for people. And he does like acts of charity, but he films and makes money off of it. So like, you can make the moral and ethical debate over whether or not he's actually doing good, or whether or not, once again, it is a business. So the only thing that matters is him benefiting the bottom line. I am not of the standpoint of criticizing how he does his content, because once again, I am a content creator. Like, I get it. If you have something that guarantees revenue, you will go and take that, right? You're always sitting there going, I want to make sure that I am not poor. Who is this Mr. Beast chap? Oh, you know who he is. You've been watching him since... Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Those shocks in the cell, they really hurt, don't they? Well, that was nothing. I'm gonna teach you some real pain.
So I will tell you this much. It is, well, you know what? I might as well mention it, because I did mention it in a podcast episode. So the video review I'm doing is on Cyberpunk 2077. I did not enjoy... Well, what is the best way to describe my relationship with Cyberpunk 2077? I played the worst version of Cyberpunk 2077, and I get the feeling that if I played the game now on PC on the best version, I think I would have enjoyed it more. But when I originally played the game, it was in February 2022, and I was playing it on my PlayStation 4. My base PlayStation 4, and I used that version to shape the entirety of my experience. So as a result of that, I am treating the game based on the worst version of it. And I'm making the argument that if you are putting out a game for these consoles, right, you don't get the honor or the benefit to say what people will walk away from your console and say, oh, you played the worst version of it. And I'm like, well, I played a version of it. I played a version that you put out on store shelves and had the audacity to charge $80 Canadian for. Dance, sucker.
You're gonna run back to your cell and beg me to lock you up again.
So when was the last time I played Cyberpunk 2077? Well, technically, I played it roughly about 2 weeks ago. So I'm going to give you an explanation. So I had originally grabbed all the footage. I had edited it. I was basically up to the end of the video where I was doing my credit sequence, where I was doing, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe. And then my video editor started getting slow. And then when the video editor got slow, I'm like sitting there worried. I'm like, okay, let's just close the video editor. Let's close the program. Everything will be all right. You know, I'm worrying about nothing. So I shut down. I turned off the video editor. And my screen on the right-hand side was just black. Like, I didn't see any of the logos. I didn't see the start menu. I didn't see the wallpaper on that computer. It was just a black screen, and I panicked. And I had every right to panic, and I'm like, okay, this is not working. I need to force a shutdown. You know, I tried doing the Control-Alt-Delete. The task manager did not show up. So I'm like, okay, press the power button, turn it off. That's exactly what the thumbnail is. So if you are going to be watching the video, it will say always write reviews, Cyberpunk 2077. But the thumbnail of the video will say Cyberpunk 2070, always write reviews, Cyberpunk 2077. Remembering, okay, you saw the thumbnail. Okay, perfect. Gotcha. All right, well, there you go. I keep forgetting that I have you on my Discord server. Like, I go to the Discord server, but, like, I don't have the ability to consistently be posting, to consistently be on there, because there's only so much energy and only so much things that I can do within the span of, like, a day or so. So one of the things I absolutely let slide is, like, I can't consistently be updating this Discord server. I don't have the energy and the time to make it big. Oh, you're not on my Discord. Okay. Then how did you see the thumbnail? You saw the thumbnail. How did you see it? Did I? Oh, right. You support me on Patreon. You support me on Patreon. Or you follow it. Okay.
Let's do this. No way.
Yes way. Time to dance.
take some putting back together when I'm done with you.
Do I ever feel that my creative outlets are a waste of time and money because of the lack of people watching, or do I just enjoy it regardless? That is a very interesting and intriguing question. It might sound like I'm stalling, but it actually is a nutcracker for me to answer. So, for the longest time, I would make videos on YouTube. This is when I first started getting into it. And I was so desperate. I was so wanting of other people's approval that I thought that if I could make videos that would catch on, then people would give me self-worth that I so desperately needed. Because I felt like I was someone in the background. I felt like I didn't matter. And it was very much affecting my mental health. And when I didn't get that, it was making me spiral. It was making me even worse because I'm like, well, I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do this. And it means that even though I'm trying my best, there's nothing about me that is interesting or that other people will like or care about. And then a certain situation happened where I was doing music, and I realized that there were a lot of people that who attended. Like, so don't get me wrong. The people that were in attendance were blown away at what I was able to do when I was performing, when I was singing. And a lot of people will look at the videos that I make and look at me and go, "You've got talent." So getting that feedback from other people, realizing that you've got the skills to do it, but it is an incredibly competitive market. YouTube in and on itself, we are slaves to algorithms. And just the fact that knowing that the videos that I make, the music that I make, the work that I do impacts someone. So long as I don't have an empty room, then that's good enough for me. Originally, if you were to ask me 10 years ago, I want to work for IGN. I want to work for GameSpot. I want to work for The Escapist. I want to work for that guy with the glasses and be a professional reviewer. Or I want to get signed to a label and go on tours and things like that. The version that I am right now has had that beaten out of me to the point where I realize that I'm essentially playing the lottery in the hopes that someone will be able to pick me up. And the fact that I'm just able to get some people like you, Troz, who will watch my content, who, I'm able to engage with, then it means that it wasn't a waste. I guess there's nothing more than I can say to that. Now I'm just doing it for me because I enjoy doing it. It keeps my skill set alive. And I am just happy that I'm able to have someone, some people to watch and enjoy my content. It doesn't have to go viral. It doesn't have to get me 1 million subs. I just have to know that I'm not just presenting to an empty room. Because if it gets to that point where there is no one who likes or watches the thing that I spent years dedicating myself to improving and getting better, if it ever gets to that point, then I will walk. Because I made this so that way other people can enjoy it. Even if it means that, I still got a full-time day job that I got to do. So long as there's at least, some people that can watch, enjoy it, then that's fine. You're on the YouTube chat now, by the way. Well, I gotta join the YouTube thing. Look at me doing my multicast. All this stuff. It's been so long since I've been on the YouTube chat that managing moderators can support your channel even in more ways. Introducing managing moderators. Okay, this is a learn more for something else. Guess you're right, because you have impacted my night tonight on the YouTube now, by the way. Okay. Well, thank you very much for making the switch. Obviously, I'm going to try to jump back and forth to see what I can do, California girls. Well, that's all that matters. Okay. Dance.
Come back here. I will take you down. I'm gonna smash you to pieces. No regen from this. Don't push your luck, fool. You're going back.
Come on.
You're right to be frightened.
Damn it.
I me back in there. I'm fighting for good this time.
Come on.
You think you're stronger than me? I'm gonna smash you to pieces. No regen from this.
Oh, they can home. Come on.
You're going back.
Damn it.
Eat this.
Focus, Matthew.
No way. There is no way you can defeat me.
Right now, you're playing Borderland. The second you saw 5 ads in a row, you said you're never using Twitch again. That's fair. That is completely fair. Right now, you're playing Borderlands, the pre-sequel, and you are very close to Platinum 100%. Jesus, mate.
There is no way you can defeat me.
Yada, yada, yada. What were the reasons I stopped trophy hunting? Probably can relate to all of them. I didn't like, when I played video games, I didn't like how I was not enjoying the narrative, the experience of my initial playthrough because I was focusing so heavily on trying to get as many trophies as I possibly could. And as a result of that, I'd look back at a game and go like, I don't know how to feel about this game because all the impacted points, I was focusing more on getting the trophies so that I can platinum this game in as little amount of time as possible. And I often found that games that I had spent so much time and effort trying to platinum, I never played them again. And like as a result of that, I'm like, I don't like how the trophies, like trophy hunting, took away from me just enjoying the game. Took away from me just enjoying my first playthrough, my first experience, because I was trying my best to, it sounds odd, but like gamify something that has always been like a narrative thing. I have a 96 profile completion, and it made me hate some games like The Last of Us. At least not want to play it again. I mean, I platinumed The Last of Us, the original Last of Us, on my PlayStation. If you go to PSN profiles, you type in Sonic MTD, you'll see that game is platinumed. The moment I platinumed it, I took it to my EB Games, which is basically GameStop, and I traded it in. And, you know, I enjoyed my experience with it, but, like, I hope that I never play The Last of Us ever again.
I tell you not to try this again, but you know what? It's too much fun. There is no way you can defeat me.
Actually, truth be told, I enjoyed the online multiplayer experience of the original Last of Us. But keep in mind, I was playing that game as a support character. Like, I would build a character that had, like, sort of a long-range type of thing, but the main point was so that I could heal my teammates.
I'm gonna kill you.
Online matches were pain, all 150 of them. Alas, I overall enjoy trophy hunting a lot, and my profile is a very cool, and every game I play from now on adds to the coolness. I mean, sounds to me like you're overcompensating, but that's just me. Holy crap, I actually won. Yay, killed the jailer. I don't even know her.
You will be broken. You will go back to yourself.
This is the very beginning of the game. I've just started the game from the beginning.
Bravo! Excellent! What a thrill! Not your first time, right? Anyway, the good news, we're one step closer to freedom. The bad news, there's more out there waiting for us. But don't worry, I know them. I can help. Believe me, what's waiting at the end of all this is so worth the trouble. You and me, we're in the same boat now. Now let's get the hell out of here.
I'm getting Afro Samurai vibes. Just give me a second. I'm going to very briefly just switch to see if there is anyone on the Twitch chat. Most likely there is no one on the Twitch chat. Yes, there is no one on the Twitch chat. I don't even have bots. I've been away for so long that not even bots are on my live stream. Do I collect any physical games? Yes, I do have physical games.
Way down there lies a free world. A world of peace and light, where you're free as the wind. And you know what? We're going to get there.
Give me a second. There we go. Well, it's because I've been gone for so long. Because that's the thing about live streaming, right? You have to consistently be doing it. But, like, I have to work full-time jobs. I have to do work where it's like I don't have the benefit of being able to live stream when I want to. I have to be gone for months and pray that at some point I'll be able to work on content or be able to jump back into it. One of the things that actually kind of surprised me was in the middle of my work week, I received a email from Twitch saying, "Hey, we've got your paycheck." And I'm like, oh, right. I guess I still was collecting revenue from Twitch, even if I wasn't live streaming as much as I normally am.
I'll tell you what I know on the way. But don't expect all the answers. It's all about what a man does. That, my friend, is a prison. A prison within a prison. A very clever trick.
Cool. I'm going to walk right by you. Oh, the game won't let me walk past him. Okay. Let me see if I can go the other way. Nope. Oh, now I have no control. So, as I've mentioned before, I had the base game of Cyberpunk. So I basically grabbed a copy of the PlayStation 4 version, which, once again, had no DLC. It was just that. I've heard good things about Phantom Liberty, but alas, I am not going to be giving them money. For me, it doesn't make sense for me to spend cash, at least. So, hear me out. Cyberpunk 2077 came out in the year 2020. It is now 2024. The game is still the exact same price when it originally debuted. And I'm not talking getting Phantom Liberty. If you get Phantom Liberty, that is more money on top of the launch price of the game. So, like, if you were to go to the Canadian version, just the base game is like $79.99 Canadian, And then if you want Phantom Liberty on top of that, it turns it into 110 Canadian dollars.
Have a lot in common. She turned up one day, destroyed everything in her wake, and then bam! She got caged.
So if you just press the X button, it auto-walks for you. And also the L2 button, it auto-walks. You're doing it on PS5. I'm talking Steam.
All these layers so she couldn't get out, and you couldn't hear her scream.
So if you were to go to Steam, it would be that money. Now, if I wanted to get it, like currently it's on a massive sale on GOG, Good Old Games. But once again, I don't want to spend money. Like, I feel like the money that I would spend on another game would be money well spent. So once again, I've already done the video review. I've heard good things. You know, my producer Scott wants me to give it a whirl, and I looked at him and I'm like, no, not unless someone else is going to buy it for me.
She tried to tear through those walls so many times, but they just kept growing back around her. It drove her completely insane. Enraged, she'll hunt anything and rip it to pieces. That's some Jada, right? But you and me, we know that being locked up fucks you up inside. We know that so well, don't we? That's why we did what we did. That's why we're getting out. That's why our story doesn't end like hers.
Easy for you to say. I'm the one who's fighting. You're just stoically standing there. Stoically? No. You're the Samuel Jackson to my Afro Samurai. Can I keep going past this? Let's see. Okay, so you're a plumber, essentially, are you? Okay. Well, that's definitely got to be decently paying, and the hours have to be, I want to say, stable. So you found yourself a job. Now, is it interesting? I don't know, but if it allows you the free time to do what you want to do outside of work, I'd say that's a victory. Is this game nothing but boss fights? It feels like this game is going to be nothing but boss fights. Did you have to go to school for that, or? No autographs, please. Oh no. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. I did 2 months of on the job. Okay, cool. So yeah, our last show was in June. It was on June 27th. And then my guitarist and co-creator of the band, Paul, told me that he's going to have a kid and that he basically is going to stop playing music. I thought he was retiring from music in general, which surprised me. And he's like, no, I'm walking away. I'm only sticking to one band, and your band is not going to be it. And I'm like, okay, but we wrote the songs together. Are you okay with me continuing and going forward with those songs? And he's like, yeah. I just, now that I have a kid, I do not want to do shows during the week. Whereas I'm trying my best to, just like with my YouTube channel, to actually take it somewhere. Since he gave me his blessing, I've been pushing forward. But I've got an entire crew of people, and we're going to see if I can get them back up to snuff. And they all seem to be driven and motivated, so we're going to see if they want to turn this into a career. Yeah, I was expecting the worst, because it's so easy for someone to look at you and say, no, I'm not going to give you the permission. But yeah, when I told Paul, I'm like, hey, I'm going to rebrand the band, call it a new name. I'm going to take the songs, and I'm going to try to go somewhere with it. And the fact that he was able to allow me to do that means the world to me. If he was going to be a dick about it, I would have some strong words. Oh, wow, that hurts. Did not know I could parry that. Am I still learning Japanese? I took a break from that. So I graduated from my year-long course. There are multiple years that are needed, but the stuff that I needed to get done, plus the fact that I did not have, like, if I want to, I can put money down and do another year of it. But it is not going to change the fact that I am desperately needing a full-time job. And having too many things that I want to focus on will prevent the fact that, hey, employment takes priority. I think I'm starting to get the hang of this. Would I rather make YouTube / streaming my full-time job or the band? It would be really nice to have the band as a full-time job. But the problem is that with the band, there are so many things. It's a group project, essentially, that determines whether or not I get successful. Whereas YouTube, in on itself, is just myself solo. If I keep it to as few people as possible, and I've been someone who has been perpetually poor since I was, ever since I was able to go from high school to college, I've been fighting to keep above the poverty line. So if I'm able to make money as a YouTuber, I have very good spending habits to the point where I won't blow my money out on ridiculous purchases. I feel like it is more sustainable if I were to be a YouTuber. But if I become a successful musician, successful meaning I have this group and I'm able to take it on the road, go touring, and able to pay my rent that way, I would absolutely love it. Because the thing is about being a YouTuber is I'm creating this content, but I'm not seeing the people interact with my content. I know that they're enjoying it, but when you're on stage and you look out at the audience, you can engage in real time and see how they enjoy and interact with your content. So I would love to be a musician, but frankly, so the biggest answer that I'm going to say is I am giving my utmost effort to both of those projects, and I am going to see which one gains any traction. If YouTube gains more traction than music, then maybe I can take a step back from music and focus more on content creation. If my music takes off, maybe I will spend less time creating YouTube content and more time into doing what I can to make my music successful. That is where I'm hoping to go. But at this point, once again, I need a full-time job. I need to be able to pay my rent. That comes first. And unfortunately, as a result of that, if it means, my music or my YouTube content will have to suffer, fine. I would much rather make sure that I've got a roof over my head, that I've got food in my fridge, than basically killing myself for people who won't be guaranteed to come. Sounds like a kind of downer thing, but I'm just being real here. Now she's got an extra attack. Shit, she re-healed. Yeah, she's got an extra attack now. Come on. "99% of people would choose living inside than being a streamer to 1 to 2 people, or else you wouldn't have your priorities straight." Yeah. Like, once again, I would love to have something that I have been training to do for over 15 years, which is what I've been doing. Like, I've been creating content since 2009. I have been a live performer playing music in bands since 2009 at the exact same time, roughly. And you know, it's not that I don't have the talent, because I do have the talent. It's that, once again, it's a gamble that determines whether or not you become successful. You know, we are gambling in the hopes that there will be an audience, that there will be people that say that what I'm creating has meaning and merit. And a very select few of people are able to, you know, go and make a living from it. And that is kind of the nature of the game. Am I upset when someone like, I don't know, Hawk to a Girl is able to take a viral moment in time, just a fluke being at the right place, the right time, and turn it into a career? No. I don't think something like that is wrong. But what I do understand is that I have given this the utmost effort that I possibly could for 15 years. And I will continue to do so because it is something now that I enjoy doing. Am I upset that I didn't make it? If you asked me many, many years ago, I would be upset. But now it is just, I'm doing this because I enjoy doing it. This is who I am. I have nothing on Hawk to a Girl, no offense. But like, Hawk to a Girl was able to take that moment in time, actually. She's brilliant. She's a fantastic marketer. She was able to take that one odd moment in time and turn it into a podcast. She's getting like interviews left, right, and center. Like, she 100% is a fucking genius, just how she was able to take something so random and then work it into, you know, being more than just a 15 minutes of fame type of thing. We will see how, you know, that is able to turn. You know, maybe she might be able to rise above even this level. I don't think so, but like, the fact that she was able to get to where she's at because of that one odd viral moment, you know, I applaud her. Yeah, she's making a living. I'm not even cringing at her, right? I'm applauding her. Where the fuck did this boss go? Oh shit. I have no idea what I was supposed to do. Ow. How do you expect me to deal with that? Let's go. Drop the Cyberpunk review and review Talk to her instead. No! Choose life. I mean, there's some people out there that, like, I don't know, will give stuff like that a review. I don't know. It feels weird reviewing podcasts. Damn it. Come on. Don't tell me this is the end.
Can't stop now. We're on the road to freedom. You will beat her.
Do you like your YouTube profile picture / banner? Made your channel more professional for uploading trophy guides. So give me a second. Let me take a look. Tries trophy guides. Go to channel. Let's take a look. Oh, that looks nice. Yeah, I like that. If I were to see your profile picture and your banner, yeah, I'd look at it and go, this looks a little bit more professional. Yeah, I like it. But that's just me. Yeah, it looks a lot more professional. Anyway, jumping back. Made it all on Google Slides. Took you an hour. I believe it. Sometimes the simple things are the best. Oh, I'm restarting this fight from the beginning. Okay. My YouTube banner is actually really clean. I'm glad you liked it. That took me forever because I was using GIMP and I'd never used GIMP before. And also, I had no idea what I was trying to do. Don't run from me. Oh, damn. Okay. I mean, you'd be surprised. A lot of people make that mistake of not knowing that the entirety of my name is the MTD. So I do not blame you. Give me a second. Options. How to play. Dodge, stun, punish. Okay. When you're in close combat, use the shoot button to charge your boost. A boost hit will make much more damage. Okay. You can dodge while charging a slash. Well, that's good. Parrying, slash, charge shot. Knock down the opponent. Cool. So what I'm probably having to do is boost. Okay. So for me, I use 0 artificial intelligence. Well, okay. There is one thing that might use AI in the entirety of my production, and that is, so I use DaVinci Resolve Studio, which is the paid version of my video editor. Unlike Adobe, you put down money once and you own the editing software in perpetuity. But when you actually own the software, you get a lot of different things that are available that aren't in the free version. And one of the things that happens is, yeah, they were charging you $35 a month. For me, I paid for not only the video editor license, but I also got a speed editor, which is a console that I can use to increase the workflow of my edits. And that was roughly about $600 in total. But it came with the speed editor, and it came with a free license to use DaVinci Resolve. But unlike a subscription, I own this in perpetuity. I do not have to spend any more money in the future. I will always have this copy of the software. And so, where was I going? Oh yeah. So when I one of the one of the features that comes in the paid full version of DaVinci Resolve is the ability for the computer to analyze what dialogue was said and to create subtitles based upon what was said. So I don't know if that is artificial intelligence per se, but it basically listens to the audio format and creates almost a near perfect transcript and near perfect transcript, and also creates subtitles, which then I export into SRT files, and then that goes into the YouTube subtitle thing. I don't know if that is artificial intelligence at all. I wonder if it's just the ability to render and understand your what you were saying, because I'm not plugging it into anything like Chat GPT or anything like that. So I'm not 100% sure. But with the exemption of that, I do not use artificial intelligence, period. Okay, then that's just speech to text. Yeah, when I have thumbnails, I take previously existed photos and images, and that's me 100% doing the image editing to create the thumbnails. For example, the Cyberpunk one, quite honestly, was I took wallpaper from Cyberpunk 2077. I took an image of me dressed in a samurai costume from a convention. I flipped it so that way I'm on the right side. I erased everything else that was in the photo. I created a small light green stroke banner around it, and then I grabbed font that looked as close as possible to the Cyberpunk font. I don't know what font it uses, and I'm not going to get into typography. So I just used something that reads well, using the same colors as the Cyberpunk font, putting that in, adding a drop shadow. Pretty much like everything is man hours and time that I spend behind the scenes. And there are people out there that will use artificial intelligence, but I don't think that's a path I ever want to go down, because I'm a creative person. I sing in a band, and if I use artificial intelligence, well, then that means that, I'm giving credence for artificial intelligence rather than getting someone to write a script, or having artificial intelligence rather than having someone compose a piece of music by themselves. Is called Play. You use the font for all your video guides. I did not know that. I will consider that for the future, but you'll notice it when you watch my review, I am very tired by the end of the review. Like when I do my thank yous, I'm like, there's problems currently going on with my VTuber avatar that I have at the end of this video. I am not going to correct it because I've worked on this for too long. So screw it. Thank you very much for watching. Yeah. There comes a point where you should just be happy that you released the video, that you finished, you got it across the finish line. There is nothing wrong with being a perfectionist, but there are some times where you're just like, it's done. You need to accept what problems that might have happened with the video, and you must do everything in your power to learn and grow and make sure that the next video doesn't suffer those same problems. I see. You want me to remain completely still. Ow. Your mom owns a business, and she started writing emails with ChatGPT. Of course, she proofreads, and AI knows how to do it correctly, but it feels wrong. It really does. Like, I can understand if you are someone who, suffers anxiety or whatever, but, like, if you can't craft an email, if you can't be personable, and you have to use artificial intelligence to do it for you, my question is, okay, why are you not expendable as a human being? Like, if what you can do can be done by artificial intelligence, why are you not replaced? Like, if something as simple as writing an email, there have been times where I've had to look over emails, and I get it. But, like, I would never use ChatGPT to write an email for me or to send a text for me. Maybe if it's like, oh, I'm out of the workplace, then you have those automated messages that go to you, say, hey, I'm not around right now, but I will answer this as soon as I get back into the office. That makes sense. Yeah. Well, right now we're in a middle of a giant crisis, because whether you like to believe it or not, artificial intelligence is being used to make people obsolete. And when you have a lack of jobs due to artificial intelligence, right? Like, if you have more people that are unemployed that are now being replaced by AI, then you need universal basic income, because now the people, the powers that be, are going to do what they can to save as much money as possible. And it's not about, oh, we're job creators. No. If given the option, they are willing to replace their workforce, because that means, hey, we've grown, and the less money we have to spend on employees, the more money we can give to our shareholders and ourselves. So I'm watching in real time as, like, artists, like digital artists who would have gotten jobs at, like, opera house companies are now being replaced by artificial intelligence. Ah! She KO'd me. How do you feel about AI artists who know how to enter in the correct prompts? Are you talking about pornography? You talking about artificial intelligent pornography? Okay. So I need to, because there is some artificial intelligent like porn that has been made that I've looked at, and like it allows people that are writers to be able to, like, if you want to make like porn captions or hentai captions or things like that, like I can understand using it, so long as you don't think that you have the right to earn money as a AI artist. If you're trying to go as, oh, I am a writer and I'm using AI art to substitute a drawn component that I would have grabbed from other music, because there are people out there that do captions and things like that, right? Like, so if someone uses AI art and then uses it for a story that they're telling, then I consider them more as a writer than artificial intelligent. If so long as that's the focus on it. If someone is only creating AI art and wants to be considered a artist, no, you don't have the same level of credibility as anyone who's capable of picking up a pencil. Yeah, no, I don't consider, if someone is doing art, like if someone considers themselves an artist and is really just using artificial intelligent prompts, they are not an artist. If someone is using the that was weird. If someone is using the prompts originally for like a base outline and then deciding to personally add on to it, like, you know, they'll sit there, look at a prompt and go, okay, well, this is the prompt. Now let me do by hand to improve upon it. You could make an argument for that. You know, it's almost like when you buy like a pre-made model kit and then you look at it and go, well, I like if you get a model car and you build the model car and you look at the model car and you go, well, it's nice, but I don't like the or Warhammer, right? Everyone has the ability to go out there and buy the model of a Space Marine, right? Does not mean that you work for Warhammer, but there are people out there that will go and buy different paints and will customize their Warhammer figurines to show off their personality, right? So like in that aspect, they're using other people's models, but they are then customizing and creating and doing something outside of what is pre-made and pre-built. I guess if that's what makes sense or what the argument is. Yeah, if you're able to improve upon the concept, then you can actually have a legitimate argument and conversation as to, you know, are they an artist or are they just using artificial intelligence? If you're able to improve upon a concept, you know, yourself, and not just be a prompt, then there is an argument that you can bring to the discussion. At least that's what I find. Now, where is this boss? Because this boss, at this stage, will first try to get a sneak attack on me. There'll be a quick time event, and then we go back into the fight. Here you are. There we go. I'm talking about the people using AI and advertising that they can use AI for you. As if it takes skills. Yeah, if we're using just that, like if we are using just what you are describing, I do not consider them an artist. And so once again, I am am a musician outside of this. I play in a rock band. There is another band out there. I am not going to shit talk them. But when we did a show with them, you know, I looked at them and I'm like, oh, congratulations on your new release. Who was your artist in that? Because that looked like an amazing EP that you created. And they looked at me and said, oh, we used artificial intelligence for that EP launch. You should consider doing that yourself. You'd save yourself a lot of money. And immediately when he said that, I immediately looked at him and I'm like, I'm not going to say anything bad because I understand you are a poor musician. You do not have the ability to pay for an artist, or you might have the money, but it makes more sense for you to put the money somewhere else. But I do not agree in using artificial intelligence. I 100% agree in getting someone who has the talent or the ability, or contacting, or contracting, or doing it yourself. So, like, once again, there are people that are in my circle that have used AI in that particular situation. And, you know, I'm not blaming them, but it is not the precedent that I want to set. When I put out an album release, when I put out an EP or a single, I want it to be known that there was effort put in across the music composition, across the lyrics, across the album artwork, that it was all done by human hands, and that any type of work or effort was human. No one got... like, we did not... I want to, once again, give back to the community. I don't want to rob people of income or rob people of their ability to shine and grow. 100% make better art than humans will be a sad day. I mean, AI will only consistently get, well... I was a little too quick on that one. Damn it! Here we go. Oh, I can... That is cool. I can actually, when she does that attack, I can reflect it back at her. There's a lot that this game does not tell you. And it is really cool to be able to learn this on my own. Ow! Never say die. God damn it. It's like Uncanny Valley, but for human feelings. It shouldn't be able to make nice artwork, but it can. Scary thing is it can teach itself. Yes. Well, yes, kind of. Come on, Matt. We can do this. We got so close last time. Come on. Learn from your past mistakes. That is the one thing it can't do for now. Keyword for now. Damn it. Once AI comes to your house and starts doing the plumbing for pennies on the dollar, I feel like it wouldn't be so bad. Well, like, artificial intelligence right now is being used for the most scumbaggy of ways. And another example of this, sorry, it's very difficult to have these sort of engaging conversations while trying my best to concentrate on a bullet hell game. Damn it. Okay, well, game over. I'll try this again.
Now. We're on the road to freedom.
Okay.
You will beat her.
So, right now, currently, outside of just making artwork, there are algorithms, which basically are kind of, in a way, a form of artificial intelligence, right? Like a computer kind of thinks for itself and calculates. And right now, one of the things that's going on in the world around us is landlords are able to systematically all increase the price of the rent. And if you live in a place like Toronto or any other place, you'll notice that a lot of the places that are available for rent are all roughly around the same price. And there is no competition. And currently what is being investigated in Canada, as well as other places like the United States, is that landlords are using algorithms to basically make it so that there is no competition. So that way they all can charge the same, so that they can all benefit, and they can all basically make it so that tenants who usually don't have a lot of money pay the most out of it. So now, back when it's like, oh, I got this place for a steal, now I can settle down, I can start a family, I can start to, actually own property and being able to take care of myself. Owning a house or owning a home is a form of wealth. It's a starter form of wealth for a lot of families, especially in the 1980s and the 90s. But now home ownership is an investment being scooped up by these massive companies, by these massive corporations. And there are people like me who can't afford to buy a house. I actually kind of always wanted to travel around for work. Like, oh, I'm now in Japan, I'm doing a contract, or I'm in the UK, or I'm in the United States, or, because I want to be a musician, being able to leave my apartment and get on the road with my band. That kind of makes sense. But, like, the fact is that when these greedy corporate, landowners come in and swoop in and everyone else is charging the same so that there's no competition, well, we got ourselves a problem. And it's a problem that needs government intervention. Because the market, if everyone is acting illegally, then it's up for the government to step in, because there is no free market. What you have is a fiefdom. Once AI comes... Yeah. Sorry, every once in a while I pause just to look at the chat to make sure that I'm answering everything, or at least that, you guys, when you say something, I can take time out, focus on what you're saying, and make sure that I'm engaging with you. Because this isn't just me, sucking at video games. This is a chat. For me, this thing, Let's Botch, is less about me playing a video game and more like me at your house, sitting on your sofa, having a talk with you while playing video games. Although, it would be good if I didn't suck at a game. Just gonna casually, throw a dog a bone here. Throw me a freaking bone. Mini-me. Hiya, Jackie! You mo guega 5 days out. Damn it. This game is 100% timing. It's also 50% luck, no, 10% skill, 38 concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% slam, 100% reason to remember the jam. Damn it. Yes, I survived. Haha. Okay, AI builders. Do you ever feel? Give me a second. Do I ever feel artificial intelligence could get so advanced that nobody needs jobs, and we are essentially catered to and can all live comfortably, or will the powers that be hold AI for their own benefit and greed? Here's the thing. Once again, you're asking these very nuanced questions which don't have black and white answers. But so I'm going to pause it in order to answer these mouthful of fucking philosophy you're giving me. So the way I predict the future going, at least, is we are going to go into a massive job crisis situation. There will be way too big a population and not enough jobs without government intervention. Not enough jobs to be able to sustain the population. There will need to be government intervention. If there is not universal basic income, and not some way for the government to make it so that way people can get employment, so that people can be able to exist, then we're pretty much screwed. And the powers that be, how our society is run, is any form of human kindness is viewed as a negative. It's like, oh, we can't give people, at least in North America, we can't give people, free healthcare or education or things like that because it'll be viewed as socialism. And the fact that, like, if I am to go outside, right? And I remember this because, once again, I was a child growing up in the 90s. If I were to find someone who is homeless and destitute, who says, food or money, anything that counts, and I am to give them a $5 bill, look at them and say, do what you will of this. I hope that things get better for you. There will be a huge group of people that will look at me and say, he didn't earn it. That he is just going to spend it on drugs, right? They will immediately take a good gesture, an honest faith. And it doesn't even matter. When I see someone who is suffering, I can't just let them be. If I am at the foot of my apartment building and I see an elderly woman who is struggling to carry groceries from her car to my building, I will not just look at her and say, no. I will, within reason, ask, do you need assistance? If she says yes, I say, cool. where are we going? And I will go from that point on to help her, because I can't let that happen. But the people that run major corporations, the people that are our legislators, the ones that craft the laws, they are out of touch with the common man. They make so much money to the point where, like, they, in a month alone, you know, our legislators make more than I make in a year. to put that into perspective. And once again, I am fighting to keep above the poverty line. So, like, the fact that we live in this system, the free market is not going to help and save people. It currently is being used to elevate those that already have a tremendous amount of money and power and influence. Hell, if anything, you know, back during, I don't know what year it was, but there were antitrust laws, you know, the Brave New Deal. It's like, hey, coal company or mining company, your mining practices are poisoning the local town supply of water, and we're going to hit you with this because you're poisoning people. But like, they would basically, you know, crack down on it. They'd sit there and go, you know what, you earn so much money, and in order for you to own and operate and do stuff, you're now going to have to pay taxes and give back to the people, because once again, these people are your workforce, and they need education, they need roads, they need schools, they need hospitals. And that was sort of a way of keeping the power and balance in check. But now legislators are being, well, the correct term is they're being bribed. But the term that is used, the marketing term, instead of being bribed, we say that they are being lobbied by special interest groups. And unfortunately, in order to be elected, you have to have an astronomical amount of money in advertisements. Unfortunately, big money in politics is now the nature of the game. So, like, being able to pass legislation that benefits people, you need to also completely restructure the political system here in North America, both in the United States and in Canada, because those big major players, you know, your Elon Musks, your Jeff Bezoses, your even, you know, people like the Sackler family, those movers and shakers, they are, you know, they don't own political office, but they own the politicians who pass the laws. And so as such, something needs to be done, because I don't think things are going to get any better. Me personally, I'm afraid of what's going to happen to me. You know, I had a job. My job has ended. I don't know if I'm going to, you know, find another job in the film industry. And so as such, I'm like, what do I do? And this isn't a knock, because once again, if I were to show you, you know, my job resume, outside of the stuff I've done in film and television, I've worked for Canada Post, which is a crown company. It's not necessarily a government job. It used to be government, and now they're like, okay, we don't want to handle this anymore, so now you're not getting government money anymore. You got to handle that on your own, but it technically is a government position. And then I also worked for the Toronto Transit Corporation, the TTC, which is part of the Toronto municipal government. So on my resume, outside of working in film and television, I have government credentials, you know. I had to pass background checks. I had to get, you know, certifications and all of this just to get that job. And even then, I am still afraid of where my life is heading, where it's going to go. There is no stability in my life. The thing that is the most stable about my life is the fact that I have lived at this address for 6 years, which is more than I have lived in any address throughout my life. Grade school, high school, college. I would stay at a place for a maximum of maybe 3 years and then either move across country or move to another city and have to start again from new. And that is all that. And the fact that I'm in a location for 6 years plus actually kind of feels unnerving, because at any point, once again, because I have, enough to survive for a couple months, but I am worried about what I'm going to do, because rent is due on the 1st. I've got enough money, because of that Mr. Beast television show that I worked on. I've got enough to last me a couple months. But what am I going to do if I can't find work? Sorry, I've rambled a bit. But unless something is fundamentally changed in our society, I do not predict that we will live in a society where people will be able to live comfortably. Because artificial intelligence was supposed to take away the stressful, dangerous job so that humans will have more ability to create art and spend time with their families. And what I've seen from it is, rather than doing that, it has taken art and leisure activities from human beings, robbed them of it. And there are people still working backbreaking slave labor jobs to survive. And it's not just the one job. There are people working multiple jobs. The stuff that is supposed to make our lives easier is doing the exact opposite of it. The reason I first joined the stream is literally that. You're playing a game about AI catering to humans and making everything too easy for them. I mean, I don't want it to be a downer situation. I do not want to tell you that it's doom and gloom. Because there's always a chance. There is always a chance. There is always a chance that things can get better. Right? But in this time, hope for the better, expect the worst. Same goes with my music career. Same goes with my YouTube career, if you are to call that. I give my YouTube and my music the utmost, attention and dedication to the craft, and wanting to improve and loving the fact that it's a challenge. I give it 100% of my effort and ability, but I do not expect it to pay my rent. Make sure that you are safe, that you are taken care of, and what little glimpses of control that you have, or the ability to, the stability that you have, make sure that the world around you is in a better situation. I don't have the ability to stop poverty, but when I worked for the TTC, when I worked for the municipal government, during my lunch breaks, I would find homeless people. I'd look at them and go, hey, I need to get food. I've been driving for the past 6-7 hours. I'm going to go to this restaurant. Do you want me to get you anything? And being able to know that I gave someone who was hungry a meal so that they wouldn't have to starve, so that they wouldn't have to panhandle, made my existence feel like it meant something. And that's what I hope to do. I hope to, at least be able to leave, whether it is in music, whether it is in YouTube, whether it is in what I do in my daily life, knowing that I'm able to help other people. I will casually mention there was a moment in my life where, because you keep asking me these deep philosophical questions. I can either play the game, or I can have this important one-on-one conversation with you. You can't get both. I am not a computer. I am a human goddamn being. I was in Hamilton, Ontario. Hamilton is kind of like Detroit. It's an industrial town where most of the money and work is in the manufacturing jobs. There are steel companies, energy companies, things like that, right? It's very similar to Detroit. But luckily, it hasn't deteriorated as bad as Detroit has, as bad as Detroit, Michigan has, unfortunately. But I'm coming back from there. I think I'm just visiting. Yeah, right. I was visiting a friend who was having a celebration because, she's no longer has the ability to have children. She had a surgery and she's like, hey, I don't want to have kids. And now I can do that without the fear of being assaulted. And we're driving back and we're in downtown Hamilton. It's roughly about, I want to say, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And I just want to get on the highway and go. And we're driving. And as we're driving, I see a girl in a very short dress. You're listening, you're not able to chat, going for a run, keep talking. But there's this girl who's in a very short dress. She obviously came as part of the club, right? Like she was clubbing or whatever, and she's walking away, and she's upset. She looks like she's crying. And my roommate, Kathy, is sitting in the driver's seat next to me and sees the girl who's crying and looks like she's possibly upset. And she asked me, should we stop and do something? And I told her no at the time. I told her no, primarily because I was grumpy, because I'd been out way past my bedtime, and when I get tired, I kind of take it out on everybody around me. I'm somewhat of a jerk, but I also didn't do it because I didn't know the situation in regards to it. I needed more context, and us driving by, it would have looked absolutely crazy if I pulled over to the side of the road, turned off my car in a busy, crowded intersection, got out of my car, and walked up to her and say, hey, are you okay? I think she would have ran, assuming that I was trying to kidnap her. At least that is the excuse, or that is the argument that I tell myself every single time I replay this situation back in my head. Because this happened, I want to say 1 month, 2 months ago, and I'm still thinking about it. I'm still consistently playing back in my head going, did I do the right thing? And what I'm trying to do, at least to justify it, is that there are times where you can't save everyone. There are times where you put yourself at risk. There are times where you just don't have the energy or the effort to be able to help elevate or to do stuff like that. And it's not that I'm kicking the ladder out from underneath me, because I basically all I did in that situation was I maintained the status quo. That person is still upset. But also, at the same time, I kept myself protected. I kept my passenger, Kathy, protected. And I hoped for the best. You can't save everybody. At least that's what I'm trying to justify. There has to be a point where you make sure that you are taken care of. But if there are times where you do a calculated risk, because you do, every person does a calculated risk in their life. When they're crossing the street, do you just walk out into the middle? Or do you look both ways and you check to make sure that the area is somewhat clear before you attempt to jaywalk? I don't dive headfirst into it. I just looked at it and I'm like, hey, I'm tired. I don't know the situation. I just want to go home. And I don't think I have the energy to deal with this right now. So, like, in that sort of situation, for me, I just kind of looked at it and I'm like, that was kind of the end of the energy that I have, but I still go out and do what I can to help other people. But there are times where you can't help everyone. and knowing that at least you're primarily giving a net positive as opposed to, you know, making the world worse. And this is very different from, say, something along the lines of saying that the ends justify the means. No, I'm not necessarily saying that in that regards, in that context. What I'm saying is that do what you can to make the world a better place. Know that you are human and you don't have the ability to save everyone. So long as you are not actively harming someone or making someone's situation worse, so long as you are not doing that, then more power to you. This was a long-ass question, a long-ass conversation that you asked me, Troz. God fucking damn it. But I needed to answer that properly because this question that you asked me required nuance. So let's get back to the game I was trying to play, motherfucker. Damn it. You're welcome. I just provided enough ideas for your next album about the surge of AI. Boom. Damn it. I'm going to very briefly, because obviously this boss is going to try to sabotage me, sneak attack me. So I'm going to very briefly pause and just see if there's anyone on Twitch tonight, because I'm pretty sure I am playing to an empty house. But it's always good to check. Yeah, there is no one on Twitch. Okay, YouTube. YouTube, you are now my only friends. Oh, those golden grams. Crispy, something cereal. Okay. Pass the duchy on the left-hand side. Ow. Holy crap, I beat her. Well, not beat her. She's at her final stage. What are you doing? Okay, now we do it all over again. Damn it.
You can't stop now. We're on the road to freedom. You will beat her.
You're back now. Who knew listening to the Furi soundtrack helps you run faster? See you in 10 minutes. Come on. last chance. Damn it.
You can't stop now. We're on the road to freedom.
Time for less philosophical question. What is your go-to order at a fast food restaurant? Depends on the fast food. So since it's fast food, I have to immediately sacrifice most Chinese restaurants because I absolutely love Asian food, but grabbing ramen or grabbing tonkatsu takes time to make. If we were to just say instant food, normally I am a sucker for Wendy's. I can't say South Street Burger because while it is a burgers and fries restaurant, it is not what I consider fast food. They actually make it in front of you. It takes time for them to make it. So probably Wendy's would be my way to go. I usually go for like a classic single, fries to drink, an iced tea, no ice. That's what I usually get. Because even something as simple as like Dairy Queen takes time for them to make it, especially if they got a long lineup. So usually going to Wendy's and grabbing that. Before, it's hard to find like good fast food. At least that is like the really, really quick version. McDonald's has made it so incredibly fast and convenient. I get done with a job and order something, be picked up in the drive-thru, and once I'm there, it's hot and ready. And the deals make it cheap. Yeah, McDonald's is okay, but the thing is that my body can't handle McDonald's anymore. Like, I don't know what's going on, but, like, my propensity for fast food, McDonald's is no longer part of that. But Wendy's works for me. Taco Bell surprisingly works for me. You have boycotted Taco Bell ever since they got rid of the Fire Dorito Taco. I don't have an answer for you. Would burritos? No, burritos, because the thing is that it's not just the fact that they wrap up the burrito. They also have to put it on a grill, which takes time. So I can't include the Canadian burrito chain, Fat Bastard Burrito, because they do really, really good stuff as well. But that takes a little bit of time for them to make it. Like, when I go to places like Wendy's or McDonald's, they give you your food really quickly to the point where you look at them and go, that is deceptively fast. That should not be that fast. In Canada, we do have Chipotle. I do not like Chipotle. It also takes time for them to make it because they got to grill it on top of them rolling it as well. So I don't include Chipotle in terms of fast food. I mean, Chipotle's okay, but, like, if you're in Canada, there are so many places that are better than Chipotle. There's Fat Bastard Burrito, as I mentioned. There's Casada. Depending, like, I'm not a big fan on Casada, but there's also El Chino Locos, which is a Toronto-based thing. Is Minnesota honorary Canada? I don't know. I have to go to Minnesota I have to go to Minnesota in order to compare it to Canada. But I've heard Minnesota is a very lovely place. I've heard that there are a lot of polite people out there. So I do need to casually tackle the perceived notion that Canada is very polite. Canada, I am digging my grave here. Canada, we are usually more polite. We are more patient, but there still is an undercurrent of assholery. The same amount, you could find in the United States. Sometimes it's worse. The time where I've gone through the United States, I have met some very lovely people to speak to that have their heart on their sleeves, right? And I've also ran into a fair share of assholes. You get that in Canada as well. I think we're less to temper. Like, we are assholes, but we are less to get into fights. But there are assholes regardless of what country you go to. Ugh. Yep, I knew that was going to happen. Games like that make your mind numb. You really don't like playing them just because of the constant combat. Yeah, but that's unfortunately one of these games. For me, I don't have a problem with the constant combat, but I do want to do other things. But this is an indie game. Like, I have never played this game before. So I had no idea what was expected of this game. I'm enjoying it. It is difficult as balls. Scott recommended it to me. Scott is my producer. And he likes watching me suffer. So most likely I'll talk to him afterwards. I'm like, ooh, that game was hard as balls. He's like, you liked it though, didn't you? And I'm like, yeah, I liked it. No, I am not playing Super Meat Boy. Gonna make a supersonic man out of you. Don't stop me now. I'm having such a good time.
Can't stop now. We're on the road to freedom.
So we do not...
We'll beat her.
Yeah. The band that I'm currently playing does not make enough money to justify salaries. What I've always done is I've done earnings, and I've looked at them and I'm like, okay, this is how much we made during the concert. We can choose to either split it equally, or we can hold on to this money and use it for opportunities in the future. So like if we have recording coming up, I'll look at them and go, well, this is how much it would be normally, but since we've saved up the money from this show, this is how much it is now. Or like, and there are some things that I absolutely will not give them money for, and that is because it's what I'm putting into it. They have to put money in order to do so. So like we also have merch. We have t-shirts. Every single dollar that I have made from t-shirts has gone into the float for t-shirts. So when we go to a show, any money that I make is going to be money that I can use at the next show if someone's just like, oh, can you break this? And I can, immediately open up a small little thing of cash and say, here you go. And I hope at that point, when the money gets a big enough amount, we can use it for more things like merchandise or opportunities down the line. Like, all the money that I make is getting reinvested back into the music project. At least that's what I'm doing for the time being, because, you know, I'm currently the only one who's putting my money in for that. Like, the guys very much want to make it a career. We will see if we have the ability to do so. What do I currently do for work? Well, right now I am unemployed. I am, like, the last thing I did was I worked for Mr. Beast. And that contract ended in, like, September 23rd, either September 23rd or September 26th. Ever since I finished working for Mr. Beast, I've updated my resume. I've sent applications. Yeah, I told you. But after finishing that show for Mr. Beast, I'm back on the unemployment line. Maybe I could have nicked a Tesla. No, if you're part of a union job, the one thing you do not want to do is steal from the set, because they will find out about it. And then you will never work for that company ever again. And that company was Amazon. So I very much, as much as I hate Jeff Bezos, he pays me very well. Well, I mean, yeah. Okay, this is going to be my last attempt at this boss. If I do not beat it within this run, I'm going to stop and play something else. Do you think you would be fit for a regular job, like at a store or something? So I have, wow, my voice just cracked there. I have about a decade worth of customer service. I've worked in call centers. I've worked in retail. I have worked in offices. I definitely feel like I have the capabilities of having a employment at a regular job or whatever. I just need to find it. If I can find something that, is relatively close in my area, isn't soul-destroying work, and gives me the ability to, A, pay for my rent, but B, pursue my creative passions outside of work, that would be wonderful. If I worked Like when I worked at a call center, it was soul destroying work, but like at least I was working Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock in the morning till 6 p.m. And that was manageable. I very much, once again, like, so long as I'm able to pay my rent, I would love to be able to make my passions be my full source of where I earn my money. But once again, you know, make sure that you are paid. Make sure that you are taken care of, so to speak. But yeah, I can work at a regular job. I hope it's not a soul-destroying job. That's all I ask. Soul-destroying and enough to pay the rent. And allowing me the creative freedom for work-life balance. Because that's the one thing that I disliked about working for the TTC. If I could make a career out of making trophy guides, that would be my dream, or a very good dream. Alas, I do not know places that would hire you for trophy guides. You have made a grand total of $30 for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views on PSNP. I have over 50 guides there now. Lincoln, you might miss me. Did I enjoy Borderlands 1? I thought it was kind of samey. Like, I wasn't too impressed by it. The ending didn't make me feel any better. The only thing I really liked about it was the fact that it introduced me to Cage the Elephant. But I got bored of it, like, within, I want to say, 2 days of playing it, which is never a good thing. You want the honeymoon period to last longer than that. But then again, I was also playing, so I was playing Mordecai, but I was not, I still didn't fall. I was like, now, if I were to play a game like that, like, for example, Cyberpunk 2077, I am a sniper rifle and revolver/pistol kind of guy. But I was playing Mordecai like I would as a typical Call of Duty assault rifle. Like, I was playing him like that other character. I can't remember what his name is. He dies in the second one. And so since I was using a character that's specifically built for a certain type of playstyle, but I was not using the right weapons for that build, I wasn't enjoying it as much as I could have. I also didn't really care for the graphics. I just did not like that cel-shaded, dirty, grungy, everything's brown kind of look that the original Borderlands had. Would I enjoy Borderlands 2 or maybe the pre-sequel? Maybe. But, like, once again, the first game, realized it wasn't for me, realized I didn't want to keep playing it anymore after I beaten it and platinumed it, and I'm glad that I haven't kind of moved back to the Borderlands franchise. That's just me, though. I mean, yeah, it did become eye vomit. Okay, folks, let's see if I manage to make it past this part. This part that's been kicking my ass. This part that's been kicking his ass. Yep. Well, so these bosses that I'm facing have multiple health bars. So you'll notice on the right side of the screen, there's the blue health bar, and then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 orange squares underneath that. Those are the stages of the boss fight. So after you bring down the enemy health bar, that means it's like, okay, this stage is done, now on to the next one, where their health immediately reheals, and it's like, cool, now go head-to-head against this. On my side, the left side of the screen, there is the main dashes, which are my health bar, how many times I can get knocked down, and then underneath that are the lives, the attempts for me to retry that section of the boss. If I die 3 times, you start again from scratch. It's game over. So I have shoved my foot in this boss's asshole 4 times out of 6. did I sign non-disclosure agreements with Mr. Beast? I mean, technically, there are non-disclosure agreements that I sign with every production that I am a part of. Damn it. Lost a life trying again. So, like, there are things that I can tell you, and there are things that I will let you know if I've crossed the line, and I can't say any more. Like, for example, I can't tell you what I worked on. I can't tell you the mechanics of what I worked on. When I was working on the production, I couldn't show any photos of the production, and I will refrain from showing any photos on social media until after the entirety of the show has aired. Holy shit. Oh,
You
wait,
can't
what?
stop now. We're on the road to
What?
freedom. You will beat her.
That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. I should have had the upper hand in that strike, but for some weird reason, she got me even though I was nowhere near her. You know what? I'm done for the night. We've been doing this for quite a few hours. Give me a second. How long has this been going on? We've been doing this for 3 hours, and I haven't progressed much. I'm going to call it a night. Hopefully, to anyone who is listening, it's primarily just me and Traz anyway, but I'm glad that you liked it at least. Let's do this again. If you like this, like, subscribe. Be sure to follow me on, twitch.tv/SonicMTD or youtube.com/SonicMTD, where I guarantee you're going to love what you see. As I mentioned, we got a new episode of Always Right Reviews, which is coming out on Wednesday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do hope that whoever watches this in the future will watch that one. It took 2 years in order to make, and it would be very appreciative. But if not, you can follow me on social media. Just type in Sonic MTD. You will find everything that I've done. Either way, I'm not going to take any more of your time. Arigato gozaimasu. Later days. Have yourself a wonderful 1:30 in the morning. Take care.